Hey guys, this is Allison from Allykatkreations. How are you? If you would please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, that'd be amazing. And if you get anything from my work, a connected dot, a new author to read, a new book to explore, please consider supporting my work, and all the links will be in the description box below the video. The Hermit's Journey. I haven't touched that in a while. I still don't have all my books. I am still unpacking. I'm getting my refrigerator tomorrow. Still a lot to get done, and my head's going to explode. So again, I do apologize. I'm going to continue to apologize. I know you're probably sick and tired of me saying it, but this is just like moving at the other house. Took forever. It is what it is. Not happy about it. And it's really, really ridiculously cold. So it's very hard to get into a storage facility when it's 2 degrees. Yeah. So just putting that out there, not done, don't have all my books. Unboxing and organizing things. Things are coming along. It's just too slow for me. And I'm very tired. The last time we did the Hermit's Journey, we did Manly P. Hall and the Many Faces of Jesus. As we walk this journey, many of us still, me alone still, I've been finding that I've always had inner strength, and I'm very much my zodiac sign, which is Aries. I'm very stupid independent. But at this period of time, it's not easy, and it's very rough going about it. We're seeing so many things going on now in the world. Things are being brought to attention. It's amazing, and it's mind-boggling at the same time, and it's very overwhelming, especially if you're by yourself, and it's not the easiest thing for you to convey to someone else how you're feeling inside, because most people won't get it. But keep moving those truths forward. My man. Thus spoke Zarathustra. And today, I'm going to read on the preachers of death. Because why not? Because everybody's talking about the apocalypse, and oh my God, the new earth, and it's going to emerge, and we're all not going together, and oh my God. Look, no one knows for sure how it's going to go down. Sorry. The timelines keep shifting. If you look at the Schumann resonance, there's time dilations going on right now. There are stargates and wormholes and other things being fought over right now by different factions. Different factions are trying to take over the planet. Just putting that out there, and I believe it. So just be aware that we really don't know how we're ascending. We really don't know if there's going to be a split in Earth. We don't know how this is going to go down, and if it's going to go down anytime soon, which I really don't know. It's playing stupid slow for us humans in this matrix. So be aware. It's okay. We're going to talk about that from the Nietzschean perspective. Because during our journey, we're all going to have to face death. I've done it, been there, done that in the worst ways. And I think his insights to things are very much from a hermited perspective. So here we go. There are preachers of death, and the earth is full of those to whom one must preach renunciation of life. The earth is full of the superfluous. Life is spoiled by the all too many. May they be lured from this life with the eternal life. Yellow the preachers of death wear, or black. But I want to show them to you in still other colors. There are the terrible ones who carry around within themselves the beast of prey and have no choice but to lust or self-laceration. And even their lust is still self-laceration. They have not even become human beings yet. I wonder what he's alluding to right there. These terrible ones, let them preach renunciation of life and pass away themselves. There are those with consumption of the soul. Hardly are they born when they begin to die, and too long for doctrines of weariness and renunciation. They would like to be dead. We should welcome their wish. Let us beware of walking the dead and disturbing these living coffins. I smile because it's so genius. They encounter a sick man or an old man or a corpse, and immediately they say, life is refuted. But only they themselves are refuted, and their eyes would see only this one face of existence, shrouded in thick melancholy and eager for the little accidents that bring death. Thus they wait with clenched teeth, or they reach for sweets while mocking their own childishness. That wasn't coming out right, guys. I'm sorry. Still clutch a straw. Their wisdom says, a fool who stays alive, but such fools are we. And this is surely the most foolish thing about life. Life is only suffering, others say, and do not lie. See it too. Then that you cease. See to it, then, that the life which is only suffering ceases. And let this be the doctrine of your virtue. Thou shalt kill thyself, thou shalt steal away. Lust is sin, says one group that preaches death. Let us step aside and beget no children. Giving birth is troublesome, says another group. Why go on living? Why go on giving birth? One bears only unfortunates. And they too are preachers of death. Pity is needed, says the third group. Take from me what I have. Take from me what I am. Life will bind me that much less. If they were full of pity through and through, they would make life insufferable for their neighbors. To be evil, that would be their real goodness. But they want to get out of life. What do they care that with their chains and presents, they bind others still more tightly? And you too, for whom life is furious work and unrest, are you not very weary of life? Are you not very ripe for the preaching of death? All of you to whom furious work is dear, whatever is fast, new and strange, you find it hard to bear yourselves. Your industry is escape, the will to forget yourselves. If you believe more in life, you would fling yourselves less to the moment, but you do not have contents enough to yourselves for waiting and not even for idleness. Everywhere the voices of those who preach death is heard, and the earth is full of those to whom one must preach death or eternal life. That is the same to me if they only pass away quickly. Thus spoke Zarathustra. There's some good tidbits in there that we've all confronted, because when we talk about that topic, most of us are aware that our souls don't die, our vehicles do. But are we seeking death? Because that's Chronos. Are we seeking life? And how does the groups confront death? It's very easy to ponder those things. On war and warriors. We do not want to be spared by our best enemies, nor by those whom we love thoroughly. So let me tell you the truth. My brothers in war, I love you thoroughly. I am, and I was of your kind. And I am also your best enemy. So let me tell you the truth. I know of the hatred and envy of your hearts. You are not great enough to know hatred and envy. Be great enough, then, not to be ashamed of them. And if you cannot be saints of knowledge, at least be its warriors. They are the companions and forerunners of such sainthood. I see many soldiers. With that, I saw many warriors. Uniform one calls what they wear. With that, what is conceals were not uniform. You should have the eyes that always seek an enemy, your enemy. And some of you hate at first sight. Your enemy you shall seek, your war you shall rage for your thoughts. And if you thought be vanquished, then you're honestly still find cause for triumph in that. You should love peace as a means to new wars, and a short peace more than the long. To you, I do not recommend work but struggle. To you, I do not recommend peace but victory. Let your work be a struggle. Let your peace be a victory. One can be silent and sit still only when one has a bow and arrow. Else one chatters and quarrels. Let your peace be a victory. You say it is the good cause that hallows even war. I say unto you, it is the good war that hallows any cause. War and courage have accomplished more great things than love of thy neighbor. Not your pity, but your courage has so far saved the unfortunate. What is good? You ask. To be brave is good. Let the little girl say, to be good is what is at the same time pretty and touching. They call you heartless, but you have a heart, and I love you for being ashamed to show it. You are ashamed of your flood, while others are ashamed of their ebb. You are ugly. Well, then, my brothers, wrap the sublime around you, the cloak of the ugly. And when your soul becomes great, then it becomes a prankish. And in your sublimity, there is sarcasm. I know you. In sarcasm, the prankster and the weakling meet, but they misunderstand each other. I know you. You may have only enemies whom you can hate, not enemies you despise. You must be proud of your enemy. Then the success of your enemy are more your successes too. Recalcitrance That is the nobility of slaves. Your nobility should be obedience. Your very commanding should be in obeying. To a good warrior, thou shalt sounds more agreeable than I will. And everything you like, you should first let yourself be commanded to do. Your love of life shall be love of your highest hope, and your highest hope shall be the highest thought of your life. Your highest thought, however, you should receive as a command from me, and it is, man is something that shall be overcome. Thus live your life of obedience and war. What matters long life? What warrior wants to be spared? I do not spare you. I love you thoroughly, my brothers in war. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Sounds familiar? What are we seeing playing out right now in this world? It's very interesting. And I'm going to let you guys ponder these things and really like soak in the messages here, because it's not what you think, and it's way deeper than you think. Ponder it. A lot of people interpret his work in so many different ways, but if you apply it to the here and now, and you're applying it to your journey, where's your enemies? Do you keep your enemies closer? Do you keep your enemies at a distance? Are you being obedient, or are you just throwing out barf? Are you being calculated? Are you thinking in 5D chess? Are you thinking in densities, vibration, frequency, and dimensions? This next part, I have highlighted so many quotes. This is a really good part. On the new idol. Because in our society, we like to idolize everything. There is no idols. Somewhere there are still peoples and herbs, but not where we live, my brothers. Here there are states. State? What is that? Well then, open your ears to me, for now I shall speak to you about the death of peoples. State is the name of the coldness of all cold monsters. Coldly, it tells lies too. And this lie crawls out of its mouth. I, the state, am the people. That is a lie. It was creators who created peoples and hung a faith and a love over them. Thus they serve life. That is what a lot of us are researching right now. Who created our avatars? What agenda did they create our avatars under? Our souls came from source. Some of us. Think about those things. Very important. It is annihilators who set traps for the many and call them state. They hang a sword and 100 appetites over them. Where there is still a people, it does not understand the state and hates. it as the evil eye and the sin against customs and rights. This sign I give you, every people speaks its tongue of good and evil, which the neighbor does not understand. That's the fucking truth. It has invented its own language of customs and rights, but the state tells lies in all the tongues of good and evil. And whatever it says, it lies, and whatever it has stolen. Our complete and utter history of everything that has ever come across our eyes, our material world, is all lies. It's all reversal. It's half-truths, some white lies with truth in there. Still a lie. Everything about it is false. It bites with stolen teeth and bites easily. Even its entrails are false. Confusion of tongues of good and evil. This sign I give you as the sign of the state. Verily, this sign signifies the will to death. Verily, it beckons to the preachers of death. All too many are born, for the superfluous the state was invented. Behold how it lures them, the all too many, and how it devours them, chews them, and ruminates. On earth, there is nothing greater than I. The ordering finger of God am I. Thus roars the monster. And it is not only the long-eared and short-sighted who sink to their knees. Alas to you too, you great souls, it whispers its dark lies. Alas, it detects the rich hearts which like to squander themselves. Thus spoke society and everything happening right now. Everybody's idolizing people. No one's going within. Many people are, but not enough. People believe books and what they're being preached to. And you say something enough, they're going to believe it. Because your book told you so. Your book declared it so. Indeed, it detects you too, you vanquishers of the old God. You have grown weary with fighting, and now your weariness still serves the new idol. With heroes and honorable men, it would surround itself, the new idol. It likes to bask in the sunshine of good conscience, the cold monster. It will give you everything if you will adore it. New idol, thus it buys the splendor of your virtues and the look of your proud eyes. It would use you as bait for the all too many. Indeed, a hellish artifice was invented here, a horse of death clattering in the finery of divine honors. Indeed, a dying for many was invented here, which praises itself as life. Verily, a great service to all preachers of death. State, I call it, where all drink poison, the good and the wicked. State, where all lose themselves, the good and the wicked. State, where the slow suicide of all is called life. Have you noticed what is in water? Because it's not water, it's chemicals, and not just the one on the periodic table. What's in the water? What are they treating it with? It's true. And even this man knew back then, writing this book. Behold the superfluous. They steal the works of the inventors and the treasures of the sages for themselves. Why isn't Nikola Tesla studied or given credit for things? Just saying. One example. Education, they call their theft, and everything turns to sickness and misfortune for them. Behold the superfluous. They are always sick. They vomit their gall and call it a newspaper. Fake news. They devour each other and cannot even digest themselves. It's all a psyop. It's all both sides a lie. All of it. They only give you half-truths. And they spin a narrative to make you upset because that's how they get fed. Loosh. And a lot of people still feed them. Stop it. This is even a better part. Behold the superfluous. They gather riches and become poorer with them. They want power, and first the leveler of power, much money, the impotent paupers. Does money really get you everything you want? You can't take it with you when you die. You can't. Watch them clamor, these swift animals. They clamber over one another and thus drag one another into the mud and to the depth. They all want to get to the throne. That is their madness. As if happiness sat on the throne. Often mud sits on the throne, and often also the throne on mud. Mad they all appear to me, clamoring monkeys and overardent. Foul smells their idol, the cold monster. Foul they smell to me altogether, these idolaters. My brothers, do you want to suffocate in the fumes of their snouts and appetites? Rather break the windows and leap to freedom? Escape from the bad smell, escape from the idolatry of the superfluous. Escape from the bad smell, escape from the steam of their human sacrifices. The earth is free even now for the great souls. There are still many empty seats for the lonesome and the twosome fanned by the fragrance of silent seas. A life is still free for great souls. Verily, whoever possesses little is possessed that much less, praised by a little poverty. Only where the state ends, there begins a human being who is not superfluous. There begins the song of necessity, the unique and immutable tune. Where the state ends, look there, my brothers. Do you not see it, the rainbow and the bridges over the man? Thus spoke Zarathustra. That's vital. Now, in our times. Why? Because if there is the doom and gloom fear that everybody's feeding the loosh into, and things kind of go to a halt, systems end, how are you going to survive? Here in the United States is very difficult because unless you're Amish or live in poverty and know how to make things work, are you capable of maintaining food, water, electricity, fire? Biggest psyop in forever. But if things really did go down, is it the rich that are going to benefit, or is it going to be the people who are learning how to sustain themselves through a war? Being the warrior, being cold, and yes, hermits out there, those of you who are like me by yourselves and can't really, you're starting to maybe find your tribe, or you're starting to find people, maybe communities, and things are starting to pop up, but a lot of people don't live near you. Are you going to come out of your hermitum and provide? Because that's what most of us do. I say yes. We're in very strange times, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're in very, very strange times, and there's a lot of disclosure that has not come across our paths just yet. And we are the guiding lights for others. There are many philosophers who make the claims that when you are amongst yourself and you consume a lot of knowledge, you're very valuable. And I agree with that. I'm pushing myself to limits. I knew I had it within me because it's not the first time this has happened. Building furniture from scratch, some of it, putting together furniture, figuring things out. It's hard. It's hard. The journey is not easy. It is exhausting. It is difficult. And sometimes we want to give up, but we know that we have a higher calling and a higher purpose here on this planet. And it's how we're going to get through that time. And I think the perspective that Nietzsche brings to the table is very vital to look at, because it questions different types of perspectives that we, you know, you hear the title of the little speakings and you want to think it's going the one direction, it goes in a completely other direction. So it's good to hear fresh, new perspectives from people who have lived already a very long time ago. They were part of the Enlightenment period. Vital. You might not like his work, but his perspectives are very eye-opening and should be taken into consideration if you apply it to now. We need to stop looking to other people when you should be looking at yourself. You should not be putting yourself on a podium. You should not be conceited or narcissistic. And yes, we should take pride in ourselves and be proud of ourselves of the things that we have achieved. but we're all one and we're all equal. We all should have the same value because we all have different skills. We all have different skill sets. We all bring something to the table of life and humanity. There's only one you, unless you're a clone or you're a fractal in other vehicles that are your twin flame, that are you. There really should only be one you in this dimension, this holographic matrix that you are inhabiting. So there's only one of your consciousness right now active here in this matrix, bringing something to the table, to humanity. And it's okay if you haven't figured what that is yet. A lot of people can't. And trust me, there's plethora of things that every one of us is good at. But we only have one divine calling. And yes, we have many, many quests and many, many missions because we're good at many multiple things. But there's going to be that one. How are you going to walk around society? How are you going to preach the truth? How are you going to come across? It's very important because you don't want to lose people. There's a lot of saving to do. And then not to say that, yeah, there's people that are not going to wake up to the truths that you have in your mind. But when things do start happening, you're going to be like Zarathustra, walking amongst society. People are going to ask you, what are you going to deliver? It's very important that we focus on those things right now. It's vital. How are you going to approach the world? How are you going to open others' eyes up? And you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You're not going to be for everybody, but you're going to be for people that are going to listen to you because that's what upstairs is here for. They're going to guide people towards you. Are you ready to be your authentic self? To be the true human that you are? Get ready. There's always divine timing. Why and when I do my readings and do my topics that I do, I'm getting slowly to a precipice of things starting to flip in another direction. And there might not be one that we're ready for just yet, but it's on its way. And there is still time to prepare. So heed the words that was spoken. I think it's very important to read within what he was saying in a perspective that's objective. Again, every book behind me is of some phantom, false matrix. Which one are we inhabiting right now? One can only know. Who's warring over our earth? It's more than one. It's not just good and evil. There are gray hats. It's a lot more to this than you can imagine. It's up to you to make the decision, though, how you're going to walk about it in your life, how you're going to emerge from that cave, how you're going to express to other people the wisdom that you have within you that was given to you by Source, because you are Source and you are Source. And the many faces that you want to see is you. Embrace that. It's a beautiful thing. And with that, guys, keeping this short and sweet. I think it's very vital, though, that you really take in those words. I hope all of you have an amazing weekend. Please be safe, be seen. When I can get on, I don't have all my books on my computer. Coming of the World Changes is gonna be next. I have to get it onto this desktop. In the meantime, I hope all of you have a wonderful day, a night, evening, wherever you are. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That helps me help others. And that helps guide spirit to helping others find me and other people. Until the next time, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.